The world sleeps beneath a silver veil. The stars hum softly, keeping watch from above. In that fragile space between heartbeats, dreams begin to stir. Shadows stretch, not in menace, but in quiet purpose. There, among drifting lights and whispered hopes, walks Morpheus, the guardian of the night. He moves through the silence with steps that never echo. Every dream he passes is a fragile universe, trembling with meaning. He listens to them all, the laughter, the sorrow, the forgotten wishes. His eyes reflect the twilight of countless souls. Some dreams glow like lanterns, others flicker, almost fading. Morpheus gathers them gently, weaving peace into their tangled threads. Tonight, something shifts. The dreams tremble as if touched by an unseen wind. A whisper calls from the edge of the dream realm, soft, distant, pleading. And Morpheus turns his gaze toward the sound. The night holds its breath. The guardian listens. A new story begins in the silence between stars. Night stretches like an endless ocean. The stars shimmer like thoughts that refuse to fade. Morpheus stands upon the horizon where light and shadow meet. His cloak ripples like the tide of dreams. Around him, the air hums softly, 1,000 sleeping minds breathing in unison. He listens. The rhythm of dreams is a symphony only he can hear. Each heartbeat, a note. Each sigh, a whisper in the dark. But tonight, something changes. The melody wavers, uncertain. A dissonance threads through the quiet harmony. It feels like a ripple in still water, a tremor in the deep. Morpheus lifts his gaze. A soft wind passes, carrying fragments of forgotten thoughts. He follows their trail, moving without sound. The dreamscape opens before him, vast, silver, and alive. Clouds of memory drift like smoke over starlit fields. He steps through them, his hand brushing the air, shaping ripples of light. Dreams bloom around him. Children's laughter, old songs, lost moments of peace. Yet beneath the beauty, something stirs. A shadow within the glow, a faint pulse of fear. He senses a dream trembling on the edge of collapse. A single spark of light flickers and fades. Morpheus reaches toward it. The dream reveals itself. A child, restless, turning in their sleep. Their mind trapped in the fog of unease. He bends low, whispering words not meant for the waking world. Do not fear the dark. It listens. It remembers. The air quivers as his voice settles into the dream. Images shift. The storm softens. The color warms. The child's breath slows. Calm returns. But the dissonance does not vanish. It lingers at the edge, faint but real. He knows this is no ordinary night. Something stirs beyond his reach, pulling at the threads of the dream realm. He stands again, looking toward the horizon of sleep. If the night trembles, he murmurs, then I must walk deeper. And with that, Morpheus begins his descent into the heart of dreams, where shadows breathe and memories sleep. The night folds around, Morpheus like a curtain of silver mist. He walks without haste, guided by the pulse of dreams. Ahead, a soft glow flickers, a door of light suspended in the dark. It hums with the heartbeat of a sleeping child. He steps closer, his eyes reflecting the shimmer of the dream. The door opens, and he enters the realm of the sleeper. The world within is vast, built from fragments of memory and hope. Walls breathe, light dances, and voices echo softly. The child stands at the center, surrounded by floating shapes of thought, colors that shift with emotion. Fear lingers in the corners like fog. It hides behind toys left on the floor, behind pictures that no longer smile. Morpheus moves gently, his presence calm and warm. The shadows hesitate, unsure if they should flee or bow. He kneels beside the child who trembles though no wind blows. You dream of something lost, he whispers. The child does not answer, but the dream ripples. A door appears, old, wooden, cracked with time. It hums softly. Morpheus reaches toward it, but his hand pauses. The door is locked, sealed by sorrow. The child looks away. He knows this kind of pain. It is the kind that clings to hearts even when eyes are closed. He lifts his hand again and traces symbols in the air. Each mark glows faintly, forming patterns of light and rhythm. The symbols drift toward the door, wrapping it in gentle gold. Slowly, it unlocks. The door creaks open, revealing a hallway filled with floating fragments, memories scattered like feathers in the wind. A laughter echoes from afar, then fades into silence. The child steps closer, curious yet afraid. Morpheus nods. "Go on," he says softly. "Every dream is a journey home." The child takes a step, then another. With each step, the hall grows brighter. The fog lifts. The air hums with light. At the end of the hall, the child sees a small lantern burning steadily. Inside, a memory glows. Simple, pure. A parent's hand holding theirs. The warmth of safety. The quiet promise of love. The child smiles, and the dream begins to change. Colors bloom like dawn through a cloudy sky. Morpheus watches, silent, letting the peace unfold. The trembling stops. The fear dissolves into light. But in the far distance, beyond the dream's edge, he senses another tremor. A whisper, not from this dream, but from many. It is faint yet heavy. A call from the deeper dark. Morpheus raises his gaze once more. The sleeper's light is safe, he murmurs. But the knight's heart stirs again. The dream closes around him, sealing the moment in soft glow. He steps back through the veil, leaving the child to rest. As the silver mist gathers once more, he knows his path is far from over. The harmony of dreams must be guarded still. Beyond the veil of the sleeper's dream, the path unfolds in shimmering silver threads. Morpheus walks among them, his steps light, his thoughts deep. Each thread hums with a note of life. Some sing of joy, others of sorrow. All, blending into the great song of the night. He follows the faint vibration of harmony until the air begins to glow with golden mist. Before him stretches the Garden of Echoes, a place where dreams take form as sound. The air shimmers with whispers, laughter, fragments of lullabies long forgotten. Flowers bloom here not with petals, but with melody. Each one hums a memory. Each tone holds a story. Morpheus moves slowly, listening to their fragile songs. Some are pure, bright as morning bells. Others tremble, burdened by regret. He knows them all. He has walked through countless nights, heard countless hearts speaking in the quiet language of dreams. Yet tonight, something feels different. The music is restless. Notes rise and fall in uneven waves. A sadness hides beneath the beauty. He kneels beside a flower of pale blue light. Its sound is faint, fading. He touches it gently. The melody strengthens for a heartbeat, then falters again. He closes his eyes, listening deeper. The song tells of someone who has forgotten how to dream, a soul lost in silence. Morpheus breathes slowly, drawing the melody into his hand. Light gathers around his palm like mist. He whispers a word that has no sound, and the flower brightens once more. Its tone rises, clear and steady. The garden sighs in relief. The echoes ripple outward, finding harmony again. He stands, letting the renewed rhythm flow through him. The night listens, the stars respond. For a moment, the dream realm feels whole again. But then, from the far edge of the garden comes another sound. A low hum, cold, hollow, unfamiliar. It moves through the melodies like a shadow through sunlight. Morpheus turns. The flowers nearest to him shiver, their songs dimming. He walks toward the sound. It leads him to a pool of dark water, perfectly still. No reflection, no light, only depth. He peers into it, and for the first time the garden falls silent. Not even the stars dare to hum. From within the water rises a faint echo, his own voice, distorted and distant. It whispers a warning. Guardian. The night remembers what even you have forgotten. The water trembles, showing flashes of dreams long past. Dreams he once tended but let fade. Faces, names, and lights flicker and vanish. The sound fades too, leaving only quiet. Morpheus steps back, his heart heavy with memory. The balance of dreams is fragile, more than ever before. He looks once more toward the glowing horizon. The Garden of Echoes resumes its song, gentle yet uncertain. He whispers softly, "Even silence must be healed." And with that, he turns away, heading deeper into the realm. Somewhere beyond, the next dream waits, trembling in the dark, calling his name. Morpheus leaves the Garden of Echoes, following the path woven from starlight and memory. The night grows quieter, heavier, as if holding its breath. The silver road bends and leads him to a valley of forgotten time. The air feels still, untouched by the rhythm of dreams. He steps through a curtain of mist, and the world changes. The ground beneath glows faintly, etched with old symbols. Floating above the valley are hourglasses, thousands of them, suspended in silence. Each one turns slowly, spilling not sand, but moments. Laughter, a heartbeat, a tear, a promise. This is the realm of the Keeper of Lost Time, a place where forgotten memories sleep. Morpheus walks among them, careful not to disturb the fragile balance. Each hourglass hums faintly, its tone marking the soul it once belonged to. He can feel their longing, their quiet wish to be remembered. "You return," says a voice, ancient yet soft. The keeper steps from the shadows, tall and cloaked in gray light. His eyes shimmer like glass, reflecting 1,000 moments at once. Morpheus bows his head slightly. "The night trembles," he says. "Dreams lose their shape. I fear something stirs beneath them." The keeper studies him, then gestures to the floating hourglasses. "Time forgets, Morpheus. Dreams fade. When mortals abandon wonder, even we begin to lose the sound of their hope." Morpheus looks up at the swirling memories above. Some hourglasses are nearly empty, some cracked, leaking light. "Can they be mended?" he asks quietly. The keeper smiles faintly. "Only by remembrance, only by love." Morpheus closes his eyes, feeling the truth of the words. In the stillness, he senses the weight of ages. Every lost dream, every fading light presses against him. Yet he also feels resolve. "Then I must remind them," he whispers. "I must awaken what they have forgotten." The keeper nods. Guardianship is not about holding the night still, but letting it breathe again. He reaches out and touches one of the hourglasses. It glows softly, and from within it, a melody rises, a simple song once sung by a mother to her child. It fills the valley with warmth. "See," says the keeper, "time may pass, but memory endures when kindness is remembered." Morpheus feels a calm strength settle within him. He understands now that to protect dreams is not to defend them from darkness, but to remind the world of its own light. He bows once more to the keeper. "Thank you, old friend. The night is still wide and I must walk it." The keeper's voice follows him as he turns away. "Then go, guardian of the night, and do not forget yourself." As Morpheus steps beyond the valley, the sound of the hourglasses fades, replaced by the slow hum of eternity. He walks onward, his purpose renewed, the echoes of lost time whispering softly behind him. The road unfolds like a ribbon of moonlight. Morpheus walks in silence, his thoughts a tide beneath calm waters. The valley of lost time fades behind him, replaced by soft winds and distant stars. Ahead, a faint glow rises on the horizon, like dawn caught between worlds. He follows it, steady, unhurried. As he walks, the ground begins to shimmer. The stars above seem to sink into the earth below, until sky and soil mirror each other perfectly. He realizes he stands at the edge of the mirror lake. Its surface is still, smooth as glass, reflecting the night in flawless detail. Morpheus gazes into the water and sees not his own face, but 1,000 others, dreamers, wanderers, souls adrift. Each reflection flickers with emotion, joy, sorrow, love, longing, all bound together by invisible threads. He kneels by the water's edge and touches the surface. Ripples spread, carrying faint echoes of voices. The voices are prayers, wishes, unspoken thoughts. Some plead for peace, some simply ask to be seen. Morpheus listens, his heart heavy with both grief and grace. These are the hearts he guards, the voices he protects. He speaks softly into the lake. You are not alone. Your dreams are safe within the night. The water glows faintly, each ripple turning into a ring of light. For a moment, the reflections brighten. Children smile. Lovers hold hands. Old souls rest beneath silver skies. Harmony hums once more. But as the light spreads, he notices a shadow beneath the surface, silent, deep, unmoving. It twists faintly, like smoke under glass. The reflections above it begin to flicker. Morpheus narrows his gaze. You do not belong here, he murmurs. The shadow stirs but does not rise. He closes his eyes and extends his hand. Threads of light spiral from his fingertips, touching the dark shape. It resists, cold and ancient, but his will is steady. The lake trembles as if waking from a long dream. The shadow begins to thin, unraveling into mist. Beneath it, the reflections return, clear, serene, unbroken. The lake breathes again, the stars above shimmer brighter. Morpheus lowers his hand, feeling the calm return. He looks into the water one last time and sees his own reflection at last. But it is not alone. Around him shimmer countless lights, the dreamers of every age. They look back at him, silent but grateful. He understands now. His task is not to command dreams, but to shelter those who create them. To protect a dream, he whispers, is to protect the dreamer's heart. The water responds with a faint echo, repeating his words like a vow. As he rises, the ripples settle, and the lake becomes still once more. The night breathes softly. Beyond the horizon, new dreams begin to awaken, each one glowing faintly in the vast sea of darkness. Morpheus turns toward them, his steps gentle yet resolute. The guardian walks on, guided by the song of sleeping souls. Beyond the mirror lake, the dreamscape shifts once more. The stars stretch into lines, forming paths of quiet light. Morpheus follows them through the still air, where sound itself seems to sleep. The silence is vast, yet alive. He walks until the light ahead softens into a dim, pale glow. Towers appear in the distance, tall and silent. He has reached the silent city, a realm where forgotten dreamers dwell. The streets are empty, paved with fragments of old visions. Windows glimmer faintly, holding memories that refuse to fade. Every corner hums with the faint vibration of what once was. A song half remembered, a promise unfulfilled. Morpheus steps lightly, his cloak trailing through dust made of moonlight. He can feel the absence here. These are souls who no longer dream, not because they cannot, but because they have forgotten how. The air feels heavy with stillness, as if waiting for something to awaken. He pauses before an ancient fountain. Its waters no longer flow, frozen in a sculpture of time. Reflected within its basin are faces, dim, colorless, motionless. Eyes closed, hearts asleep. Morpheus whispers softly, "You have not vanished. You are only waiting to be remembered." His words echo, slow and deliberate, weaving through the empty streets. A single lantern flickers to life nearby, then another, then a third. Light returns, fragile but true. The still faces begin to shimmer, their outlines softening into shapes of life once more. The silent city exhales, its first breath in ages. Windows glow faintly as the dreamers stir. In their minds, faint sparks of imagination begin to bloom again. A melody drifts through the air, simple, tender, human. Morpheus closes his eyes, listening. The song grows, carrying warmth through the cold corridors. He smiles faintly. "Yes," he murmurs. "Remember what it means to dream." But deep beneath the city, something stirs. A low vibration moves through the ground. The lights tremble. From below the cobblestones rises a thin mist, dark and whispering. The melody falters. Morpheus steps forward, his expression calm but resolute. The mist curls toward him, curious, almost alive. It carries voices, faint, uncertain, echoing fragments of despair. He reaches out a hand. The mist hesitates, then begins to fade. drawn into his palm like smoke caught by light. He closes his fingers, and the whispering stops. Silence settles once more, but this time it feels peaceful. The lights in the city brighten again, their glow steady and sure. The dreamers sigh in their sleep, hearts lighter. Morpheus lifts his gaze to the towers above. The city now hums softly, alive with new beginnings. "May your silence never mean sorrow again," he says. Then he turns, stepping beyond the last archway of stone. Behind him, the silent city continues to glow, a monument to the power of hope reborn. Ahead, the horizon darkens, painted with soft streaks of violet. The night calls him forward once more. And Morpheus, guardian of the night, walks on, carrying the song of forgotten dreamers in his heart. The wind changes as Morpheus leaves the silent city. It carries with it the scent of moonlight and memory. Above him, the sky deepens into indigo, vast and patient. The stars seem to hold their breath. He follows a faint silver path winding upward through the clouds. It leads him toward the high peaks of the dream sky. There, at the summit, rests the moon, eternal and radiant, suspended like a guardian's lantern. As he climbs, soft beams of light fall around him, forming patterns that move like gentle tides. The air hums with celestial song, too quiet for mortal ears. He knows she is waiting. The moon always waits. When he reaches the crest, the world below fades into mist. Before him stands a bridge made of glass and light. Across it floats the moon, vast and luminous, her surface shimmering like rippling silk. "Morpheus." Her voice flows through the silence, soft as rain. "You walk deeper than usual tonight." He bows his head slightly. The dreams are uneasy. The balance is shifting. The moon's glow brightens, casting halos across the air. "It is not the dreams that tremble," she says. "It is the dreamers." Her words linger like light through water. "They forget to rest their hearts," she continues. "They chase the waking world too long." Morpheus listens, his gaze steady but sorrowful. "They fear stillness," he replies. "They mistake it for emptiness." The moon sighs, her glow pulsing like a heartbeat. Even light must rest in shadow to remain bright. So must they. He looks up, the reflection of her light shining in his eyes. "And what of the darkness growing beneath the dreams?" "Darkness," she whispers, "is not always the enemy. It is the silence before renewal. But when it forgets to yield, it devours." Morpheus nods slowly. "Then I must remind it to rest as well." The moon tilts closer, her silver face shimmering. "You carry much, guardian. Too much for one soul to bear." "The night carries me," he answers softly. "I am only its voice." A long pause follows, filled with quiet understanding. Then she extends a beam of light, wrapping him in soft warmth. "Then take this," she says, "a gift of calm. When the storm rises, remember the stillness within you." The light sinks into his chest, settling like a heartbeat of moonfire. He feels its rhythm merge with his own. The world brightens for a moment, pure, silent, eternal. Then fades back to the gentle hum of night. "Go now," the moon whispers. "The night needs your voice once more. The song of balance must not fade." Morpheus bows deeply. "And you, old friend, must keep the tide of light steady." The moon smiles, her glow softening. "Always." As he turns away, the glass bridge dissolves beneath his steps, leaving trails of silver mist. He descends through clouds that part like silk, carrying the moon's calm within him. Below, the world of dreams awaits, fragile, vast, alive. He breathes deeply, steady once more. The song of the night resumes, and Morpheus walks on, guided by the promise of the moon's light. Morpheus drifts through the clouds, the moon's light still glowing faintly upon his hands. Below him, the dreamscape unfolds like a living tapestry, threads of color weaving in and out of shadow. He follows a trail of golden threads that pulse with quiet rhythm. They lead him to a valley filled with light. The air hums with creation, warm and alive. He knows this place. It is the workshop of the dream weaver. Here, dreams are born, spun from memory, hope, and starlight. He steps into the valley and sees her, graceful, ageless, her fingers moving across an invisible loom. Each thread she touches glows briefly, then fades into the endless web of dreams. "You've come far, guardian," she says, her voice soft but resonant. "The night tells me your heart grows heavy." Morpheus approaches, his eyes fixed on the shimmering threads. The dreams falter. The silence grows. The weaver nods. Balance weakens when hearts forget to feel. "I mend what I can, but the weave frays faster each night." He watches her work. The threads shift in color, crimson, azure, gold, some bright, others dim. "Each one," she says, "is a dreamer's truth, their hopes, their fears, their hidden strength." She pauses, her gaze meeting his. "But even I cannot weave what has been abandoned." Morpheus looks down at a dim thread in her loom. It flickers weakly, trembling. "This one. Can it be saved?" "Perhaps," she whispers, "if the dreamer remembers what they once believed in." He closes his eyes, placing a hand above the thread. His presence flows into it, a spark of calm, a pulse of light. Slowly the thread steadies, glowing brighter. The weaver smiles faintly. "You still remember how to heal." "I remember why I must," he replies. "Every dream saved is a voice restored to the night." The weaver resumes her work, her fingers moving faster. "Then help me," she says. "Together, we can mend the weave." Side by side, they work in silence. His energy flows through her threads, binding loose strands, softening harsh ones. The air fills with the sound of harmony, the heartbeat of restored dreams. Light swells through the valley, spreading across the tapestry. The once fading threads regain color. Dreams reform, blooming like stars across the dark horizon. The weaver sighs with quiet relief. "You have always been the bridge, Morpheus, between what is lost and what endures." He bows slightly. "And you, weaver, are the voice that gives form to their hearts." Their eyes meet, a moment of understanding between two eternal keepers. Then, softly, she speaks again. "But be warned. Something moves beneath the pattern, a shadow seeking to unmake what we build." He nods. "I have felt it. The tremor beneath the light." The weaver lifts her hand, pulling a thread of pure white light from the loom. She ties it around his wrist. "A gift," she says. "It will guide you when the path darkens. But remember, light alone cannot save what forgets to hope." He looks at the thread, its glow faint but alive. "Then I will carry both light and memory," he promises. As he turns to leave, the valley dims, returning to its gentle rhythm. The weaver watches him go, her loom still, singing. The guardian walks onward, the white thread glimmering faintly in the night. Ahead lies the deeper dark, where dreams and shadows meet, waiting for his step. The night deepens as Morpheus leaves the valley of the weaver. The air turns cool, filled with quiet tension. He walks beneath ancient constellations, their light trembling like voices half remembered. The thread around his wrist glows faintly, pulsing with a rhythm that guides him forward. Ahead lies the mirror plain, a vast expanse of still water reflecting both stars and shadows. He stops at its edge, gazing into the surface. It ripples, showing not his face, but the faces of dreamers. Children, elders, wanderers, all asleep, all vulnerable. Their dreams shimmer faintly, like candles in wind. He kneels, touching the water. The reflection deepens, shifting into a vision of forgotten dreams. Broken hopes drift like ashes. Songs once sung now echo faintly, distant and frail. From the center of the plain a figure rises, woven of shadow and light. It wears no face, only a shape of stillness. "You've come again," the voice murmurs. It is calm, neither kind nor cruel. The guardian who speaks for the night. Morpheus stands, steady but alert. "And you," he answers, "are the echo of what has been silenced." The figure tilts its head, as if smiling without lips. They forget me. Yet I am always here. Their doubts. Their endings. You are the still shadow, Morpheus says quietly. The space between dreams. Not space, it replies. Balance. Without me, your dreamers would drown in illusion. Morpheus studies it, the faint silver light of the thread shimmering between them. And yet you grow restless. The shadow's edges flicker, dark waves spreading across the water. They have forgotten how to rest, how to end. They dream without pause, clinging to false dawns. I only give them what they seek, silence everlasting. That is not silence, Morpheus replies, his voice soft but firm. That is forgetting. The shadow's form ripples, its voice colder. Forgetting brings peace. No, says Morpheus, stepping closer. Peace is remembering what must be cherished, even when it fades. A long silence follows, stretching like eternity. The water beneath them glows, split between light and shadow. You cannot stop what is natural, the shadow whispers. All dreams end, all songs fade. Then let them fade with meaning, Morpheus answers, not in fear, but in grace. The air trembles, the reflection of stars flickers wildly. For a heartbeat, both beings stand mirrored, two halves of the same truth. The shadow lowers its head. You would bear their sorrow, though it is endless? I would, Morpheus says simply, because within sorrow lies remembrance. The shadow watches him, its edges softening. The water begins to still. Then we are not enemies, guardian, merely opposites. Balance requires both, Morpheus replies, but it must be kept, not consumed. The shadow nods, fading into mist. Its final words drift across the plain. Then keep it well, Morpheus, for even light forgets its shadow. The water stills completely, turning to perfect glass. The reflection clears, stars shining brighter than before. Morpheus stands alone once more, the silver thread glowing steady at his wrist. He whispers softly, "Even darkness remembers the light," then turns, walking onward into the unseen horizon. The night hums with quiet understanding, and balance breathes again within the dream. The night softens as Morpheus walks beyond the mirror plane. The stars seem closer now, their light gentler. Each step he takes echoes softly, fading into the rhythm of the sleeping world. He follows the sound of distant dreams, drawn toward the heart of the night realm. There, an ancient tree rises, a colossal being of light and shadow, its branches weaving through the sky. It is the dream root, the origin of all visions, where every dream begins and returns. He approaches slowly, feeling the pulse of countless souls through its bark. The air hums with whispers, dreamers murmuring across the realms of sleep. He places his hand upon the trunk. Warmth spreads through him, vast and endless. He can feel their hearts, their fears, their wishes, their moments of quiet hope. And beneath it all, the balance he fought to protect now beats in harmony. "You've done well, guardian," a voice says from the wind. It is the moon, distant but near. The silence listens again. The dreamers remember. Morpheus smiles faintly. "And the shadows?" he asks. "Do they rest now?" "They wait," she answers. "But not in anger. They too remember what it means to be part of the song." He looks up, watching the stars sway like lanterns in the vast sky. Then the night breathes again. The moon's light ripples across the dream root, bathing it in silver calm. "You remind them that even in stillness, there is life," she whispers. Morpheus lowers his head. "And they remind me that even guardians must dream." The tree glows brighter, and within its core he sees fragments of light, new dreams forming. Children laugh in their sleep. Lovers rest in peaceful silence. Wanderers find their way home. He feels the flow of it all, an endless tide of creation and return. The thread on his wrist gleams, the weaver's gift merging with the pulse of the dream root. The moon's glow fades slowly, retreating into dawn. Your watch continues. she says softly. Until the next dusk, Morpheus replies. Until the dreams call again. He steps back, watching the horizon shift to hues of amber and gold. The first light of waking brushes the edge of the realm. He breathes deeply, feeling the warmth of balance restored. As he turns to leave, he whispers to the dream root, "Keep them safe. Let them remember wonder." The tree hums in response, its branches swaying like waves. The stars begin to fade, one by one, retreating to their secret corners of the night. Morpheus walks along the fading path, his cloak trailing sparks of dreamlight. Behind him, the realm sighs in contentment. The cycle complete. For now. He stops once, looking back over his shoulder. The night watches him in silence, timeless and kind. "Guard well," he murmurs, "for I will return when the dreamers forget to dream." Then, with the gentlest smile, he steps into the horizon, dissolving into morning. The dawn rises, golden and calm. And though unseen, somewhere within its glow, Morpheus still watches, still dreams. The guardian of the night rests until the stars call his name again.